Welcome to the City of Highwood's regular City Council meeting for Tuesday, November 19th, 2013. It's roughly 7:40 in the evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could do roll call, please.
Alderman Fallberg.
Here.
Fetterman.
Here.
Fiore.
Here.
Levy. Lenari. Peterson.
Here.
Slavin.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, moving along the agenda, number 3 minutes. We don't have those yet for our vote. Appointments, we are still looking for a city clerk as well as a city treasurer. Bills, we have bills before this evening. We have an addition of $6,500 to be added to the bills. In pre-sessions, we did go through those bills, had a nice discussion. So if someone could make a motion to approve the bills, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the warrant list as presented, adding one additional bill for $6,526.74 connected to fire safety and security.
Okay.
I'll make that second.
Second, we have a motion, we have a second. Let's do roll call, please.
Alderman Peterson.
Yes.
Slavin.
Yes.
Fallberg.
No.
Fetterman.
Yes.
Fiore.
Yes. And I'll be a yes, too. Okay. Let's see here, warrant list, public input for items not on the agenda this evening. Anyone wish yes?
Hello, my name is Lucy Hospodarski, 7860 Rue Loop. I'm wanting to let the public know that I'm the president of the Library Board of Trustees, and I would like to let everybody know that we have 3 vacancies on our board. We can have a board of 9 per our bylaws, and we have 3 vacancies, and I would very much like to be able to fill those vacancies, so if anybody is interested, there's an application on the library website, highwoodlibrary.org, and I think there should be one on the city as well. The commitment is a monthly meeting, and then you have to serve on 1 or more committees. And because we're a small group, each of us sits on 2 committees, and those committees meet as needed. And we're just a really dedicated group of people who wish to move the library forward and make improvements. We have a director that has been with us now for almost a year and a half, since we hired him August of 2012. So a little over a year he's been with us, and things are moving forward. We just laid the new carpeting in the children's room. We're doing some space planning for the adult room. We have some great new children's programming that the director has put in place. Two part-time children's librarians, they've organized movie nights and Halloween parties, and the attendance is amazing. I saw Alderman Peterson, I saw your wife at the Halloween party, and we're getting a lot of good participation from the kids in the community. We're looking to increase adult programming and just a lot of good things that we wish to implement and accomplish. So I encourage all of you to reach out to your friends and neighbors if anybody here is interested. Really nice group of people. So thank you.
Great, wonderful job over there.
Please send me names.
I wish I could, right? We're short ourselves. So if anyone's looking to join the library board, it is a great cause. Please reach out to the library website as well as the City of Highwood's website and fill out an application. Anyone else wishing to address the council this time on items not on the agenda? Okay. I will move forward to the mayor's report. I do have 2 things. Thank you, Mr. Bertucci, for giving me this. I will read this. First, unfortunately, we have David Sandy, former mayor of City of Highwood, passed away last week, November 10th. He served as an alderman, then served as mayor from 1965 to 1969. He was later transferred by his firm Marsh McLennan Insurance Company, to their Milwaukee office, where he served for over 30 years. As senior vice president, Mr. Sandy served as a Navy Air Cadet and was a graduate of Northwestern University. Mr. Sandy was proud to have been a part of the dedication of the Veterans Monument. I ask that we take this time, at least for a little bit here, take a moment of silence and appreciate his contributions to our city of Highwood. Okay, thank you very much. On a second note, Moraine Township is still looking for non-perishable food items going into the holiday season. They will need as much giving as you can give for the Thanksgiving and Christmas season and Hanukkah seasons. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30. If you don't wish to give non-perishable foods, they do accept money as well. Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor, I do have
Yes.
one item from the Planning Commission, if I
Okay,
can
great.
report. December 2nd at 6:30 PM, there will be a public hearing here in the City Council chambers regarding zoning text amendments relative to the medical marijuana. We are going to make some changes pursuant to the recent state law change that allows for medicinal marijuana, and we're going to be changing our zoning accordingly to provide a certain degree of regulation in the event that a establishment wants to come into Highwood. We'll have some zoning in place to
And Ms.
control it.
Canance has done a wonderful job in Lake County and has brought all the information she's gathered from several meetings to Highwood, so we should have a very great, I guess not an ordinance, but zoning ordinance for it, so that'd be great. Also, I know we have, was it December 8th?
Yes.
If you want to move right into committee reports, Highwood for the holiday, I know it's cities?
Highwood for the holidays is December 8th this year. This is when we invite the military personnel into Highwood. It started about 5 years ago. This year, we're having between 150 and 300 sailors coming down from the Navy base, as well as the military personnel from the Fort Sheridan base as well. What we'd be looking for from the public are two things. One, anybody who would like to donate, please donate $10 per sailor. What we do is provide them gift certificates that they can use throughout the city during that day. We're asking for $10. You can send that to the Chamber P.O. Box. It would be care of the Highwood Chamber of Commerce. $10. You can ask for your name to be written on the gift certificate or stay anonymous. You can give increments up to $10, up to as many dollars as you want to. The more the merrier. They do use them. They get very excited when they are provided the gift certificates. We've already heard some sailors talking about it when they're down here, have been talking about Highwood for the holidays already. So people are very excited, and the new CO, which is the new captain of the Great Lakes Navy base, is very excited too, as well, to be down here. That's number one. Number two, we're trying something new this year, the ice luminaries. We're asking members of the communities, surrounding communities and local. There's going to be Boy Scout troops involved, Girl Scout troops involved, St. James, and I believe Oak Terrace as well. We'll be making ice luminaries. These can be made out of any household item. You can take a Tupperware and make one. Go look online, look up ice luminaries. The more we get, the cooler it looks. We plan on lighting them up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the 8th. And enabling us to shut off the lights at 5 o'clock as the sailors march in cadence through the city. The one wonderful thing about these is they, over a period of time, do melt away. They don't leave any residue. They are, as I said, very easy to make. Anybody can make them at their house. So we do have plenty of candles, tea lights available if you don't have any candles to bring. But please, the more the merrier. We really want to decorate the city in an old-fashioned type way, where we can provide luminaries. If you go to a lot of countries, they do it over the course of the entire winter. Maybe we could start a new tradition and start on the 8th and keep luminaries going until it starts warming up. So,
Mid-June?
Yeah, it's Chicago, so maybe.
I also want to add that if you were looking to sponsor one of the sailors, forms are available online. If you want to go to celebratehighwood.com,
Thank
you
you.
can download the form in advance, and it kind of gives you all the information on how to do it, where to send it, what it costs. There's also a link to show some DIY ways of making these luminaries. So
Thank you very much.
no problem. Celebratehighwood.com has all that info.
And if you've never been to this event, it is probably one of the more patriotic and one of the best events the city of Highwood does put on, because it is our city giving 100% to the men and women that, boy, they look like they're 12 or 13, but you know they're 17 and up, that put their lives out there for our safety and our well-being here in the United States. So it's a great time to say thank you to them for their sacrifices, future sacrifices, if you will. Just we give them cards to send home to their parents, because I know they're not home for the holidays typically. So it's a really great event. I recommend if you have children, it's a great time for your children to be part of the holiday season. So strongly recommend. That's December 8th. What time's the dinner at Oak Terrace? Because that's always
Dinner is at 5:30. They'll be marching in cadence from Bufo's between 5 and 5:30. So I recommend that everyone come out on the streets beforehand. They'll be coming down from Bufo's, walking down in front of City Hall, down High Street, and to Oak Terrace. Highwood Avenue to High Street, sorry, right to Oak Terrace. So it is quite a sight to see.
Absolutely it is.
What time are they going to be here again?
We're not sure about the buses, whatever time the buses end up coming down here. We do anticipate them being down here between 2 and 3, hopefully sooner.
Okay.
Is that 2 and 3 for the march?
No, they're going to march after 5. They will be meeting up at Bufo's at 5 o'clock. And then they march down. We want as many people on the streets as possible, giving them a rounding ovation, so. They march to Oak Terrace in cadence. It's, as I said, it's a pretty powerful thing to see,
It's kind of emotional, yeah, it's very nice.
with Santa Claus leading them. And if we can get the fire department, the police department involved as well, maybe if they put a fire engine in front of them.
I know the police are there blocking the
police always
streets.
have, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the police was always there.
It'd be great to get one of the fire trucks out there, too.
Okay. Great.
Who puts on the dinner at Oak Terrace?
The dinner is being put on by several local restaurants. The main restaurant providing the large amount of food will be the Wildfire, which is a Let Us Entertain You restaurant. You have the Highland Park Hospital is also providing food, as well as other local establishments in Highwood.
And that is strictly for the...
That is strictly for the military. You can come and help serve and partake. If you want to volunteer to serve dinner, we recommend you show up at Oak Terrace between 4 and 4:30.
Any books from the library this year?
I can check.
They liked that one. They really liked that too. Something to think about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ice Luminaries, look it up online. It's fun stuff.
Ice luminaries. They are very cool. How long do they take?
It took me a minute to make one.
No, I mean, how long do they have to sit in the freezer for?
It depends what time you're going to make it. You could do anything from 5 hours up to overnight.
Okay.
But they are very, very simple to
Just
make.
plan accordingly.
I made them, so that should say anything.
Can't be difficult. Okay. Committee reports. That's that one. Long-term, nothing at this point.
Show you a picture.
Nothing, okay. Let's see here. We're up to financial report.
Well, we're at the 6-month mark. Still have money in the bank. A lot of money in the bank, actually.
Lights are still on.
Lights are still on. Haven't closed the door yet. Okay, enough with the snide remarks. You got with you guys the budget to actual reports, but then you also got the cash balances reports. A couple things I want to highlight. The cash balances report. The general fund, with all its little ancillary funds, has $1.1 million in it as of October 31st. You'll see that there's transfers between funds. Want to explain a little bit about what happens so you don't think I'm randomly transferring money back and forth. The ones to payroll, obviously, we transfer money from our general checking account to the payroll account to cover the cost of payroll. There were 3 payrolls that actually hit in the month of November. So there were actually 3 payroll transfers. The other ones, parking, E911, and TIF, the way our software is set up is if I have a vendor, let's just say, for example, we'll use KTJ. and KTJ has costs related to the TIF and costs related to the general fund. The software allocates the expense side in the software, and it puts it in the right fund. But then, if it's the same invoice number, I can't select two different checking accounts. It only allows me to pick one. So we always pick the general checking, because I'd rather the general fund loan the TIF fund as opposed to the TIF fund loaning the general fund. We'd hate that to happen. So what ends up happening is when I cut the check out of the general fund, it automatically creates a due to, due from whatever fund I'm charging. So what those transfers are is just cleanup. And basically what I've been doing now is every month, I go at the end of the month and I look and see what kind of checks we've cut that have crossed funds and do a true-up transfer. And that's what those 3 ancillary transfers are. They're just to cover checks that were cut out of the general fund checking account that were related to the parking fund, the E911 fund, and the TIF fund. So again, not borrowing from any other bank account. None of that stuff is happening. It just happens that, you know, we cut checks out of the general fund that were related to other funds. Other than that, you know, the water fund, we're going to see a sharp decline come November in the water fund because we had a bond payment. It's not going to wipe us out. I'm telling you that right now. Not going to wipe us out. It's just going to make us look a little bit in a poorer position in the commingled cash account. Still won't have to borrow from that $487,000 reserve we have sitting over there. I am going to move that, though. I just want you to know. It's not necessary to have a whole separate fund in our general ledger. I'm going to close Fund 41 into Fund 51. The financial statements that we get done at the audit do that already. So it's just a matter of making our general ledger look like our audit report. Sure. So it's going to still stay. I'm not closing the bank account. The bank account is still going to be there, but it's just going to clean up our financial monthly reports a little bit. All right, so that's cash. Because it's kind of early in the month, I am doing the 6-month analysis. We did that 3-month analysis where we showed it month over month. I am working on that. I'm halfway done with it. I did want to report out that the general fund has a fund balance of $1.2 million at the end of October, which again kind of equates to what you got in your cash. But we're now hitting that point where my expenses are going to exceed my revenues. You know, property taxes are done coming in. We'll have a little bit, a couple $1,000 in November. That'll be it. And then we're just going to be living off of that for the next, 5-6 months. So we're going to see every month from here on out going into the negative. There are a couple of revenue streams that come in, like business licenses in February that will make that negative not so much. But right now, the way I'm seeing it, I project we're going to end up probably breaking even at the end of 2014. Can't keep going big numbers. So I had a phone conversation today with S&P. S&P has kind of changed the way they do things. They give you phone calls once every 6 months to touch base with you, so that if you're changing your policies and procedures. Remember how I brought up, we didn't necessarily talk about it, but I brought up that we got to do a fund balance policy. And basically they say if we can get those kind of things passed, then those are pluses in our management section of our review. So I've been working on I'm calling it financial policy. I'm borrowing from another town. I thought it was a good kind of practice. It basically takes and creates general policies related to revenues, expenses, capital, debt, fund balance, and just puts it out there. And it says, okay, so for debt, we're not going to borrow anything over 10 years. We're going to limit ourselves to blank. And so it creates policies so that we know going forward, this is what your intent is. So those are coming down the line. I am still, I gathered most of the data in relation to the appraisal. So I'll be going and getting those proposals. I got information from the school district who they use for their appraisal. So we'll be able to get a couple of quotes. Hopefully we'll have that by the first of the year. The quotes, not the appraisal. The appraisal will take 3 months. And other than that, fiscally, financially, we're doing pretty good. We, again, are still moving in the right direction where we're creating sound policies and practices and, keeping things rolling. I'm happy. You guys happy?
We're happy. If you're happy, we're happy.
Anybody have any questions?
No, thank you. Wonderful job. Okay, if I get a motion to approve the October 2013 financial report, please.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second. Roll call?
Alderman Fiore,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Wahlberg,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Slavin.
Yes.
That time. Clerk's report? Okay. Well, unfinished
day,
business,
one day.
we have nothing yet. New business, 12.1. Ordinance granting a variation to the appearance code and approving an ARC application for wall signage at 766 Sheridan Road, J. Lovell's, a restaurant here in town. What do you say, February?
February
February
1st.
1st.
He hopes.
We're all hoping. February 1st, J. Lovell's, we had the opportunity to review it.
We have to wait first reading on.
I'll make the motion to waive first reading
And approve.
and approve as is.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to approve J. Lovell's new sign at 766 Sheridan Road. Roll call, please.
Alderman Fiore,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Slavin,
Yes.
Wahlberg.
Yes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, 12.2, this is a resolution authorizing the reimbursement of prior incurred costs. The council is putting this in place to, should we go down the path of major infrastructure projects in the next few years, this allows the city to recoup any of the funds we spend from this day forward, whether it's engineering, legal. When we issue a bond to pay for all the construction, we can collect back from the costs we have right now. So just allows us to do that.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
We do not waive first reading is a resolution.
Correct.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Wahlberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Fiore,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Slavin.
Yes.
Okay, 12.3 and 12.4, we will have discussions on. It is not, no one wishes to vote on that this evening, but we do want to continue public comment on it. 12.4 is an ordinance repealing ordinance 2011-0-01, removing the video gaming prohibition. And 12.4 is an ordinance, amending the Highwood City Code with regards to allowing video gaming in the city of Highwood. Alderman Slavin, you wish to?
Yeah, I just have a few comments. I continue to endeavor to talk to people, read the various emails.
Alderman Slavin, sorry to interrupt. Can you move your microphone a little closer to you? So we
I
can-
continue to interface with people within the community, both business owners and residents, and some that are both business owners and residents, as well as reach to the outside world in terms of whether they be other communities, other police departments, other possible operators of video equipment who have experience both in-state, out-of-state, et cetera. And I think what was really enlightening tonight for those of you who were here in the earlier session was there was a conversation about the city of Highwood, and we were presented by a gentleman by the name of John Martin tonight, some other prospective opportunities to create video, revenue streams for the city, because we as a city don't have some of the advantages that other municipalities, villages, cities around us do, the ability to lure and attract large corporations, to expand on vacant properties, to do a lot of redevelopment. Highwood is unique in many, many respects. I think you can go very far south of the city of Chicago along the lake, all the way as far north as I know. You are not going to find a more diverse city in terms of its ethnicity, its culture. There's just so many unique things about Highwood. And a lot of what some personal feelings as well as observations, is we are struggling to find ways to generate revenues. I don't think every suggestion is a bad one. I don't think every suggestion is a good one. But I do believe one of the things you have to do is you have to come to some degree of self-realization, whether you're an individual, when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, maybe I'm short, maybe I'm heavy, maybe I'm tall, maybe I'm thin, whatever. You have to accept your history and who you are, and you have to use that to be a strength. I hear people talk about, do you really want to aspire to be like a community? I'm not going to name any because I think it's rather derogatory, but it's taken in a very negative context and connotation, and I think it's really wrong. I think Highwood, what makes Highwood Highwood is its uniqueness and exactly who we are. And I think to aspire to be like communities to the north or to the south or directly to our west, that's not who and what Highwood is. And I think as long as you take caution in proceeding and do things that are still within the complexion and aesthetic of the city that can generate these streams of revenue so we don't have to continue to levy higher taxes year after year and look at issuing bonds multiple times. I think the video gaming provides us one of those sources of revenues, and I do think it is fitting with the nature of the businesses within Highwood to have such a practice and to allow for video gaming, because I do believe Highwood has always been a place where you go to enjoy yourself, to partake in the food in the restaurants, to participate in the bars and the nightlife. And I think we're not stepping way beyond what we've done or who we are. I think it keeps in line exactly who Highwood is, and I think it's okay to look different than our neighbors to the northwest, south, wherever, because we are different, and I think we should embrace those differences and use them as a strength. And I don't see video gaming as changing the complexion or the zeitgeist of Highwood, as it were. So that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you.
Zeitgeist.
Don't know what that is.
It's a jerk. Well, it's okay. We can go into that.
Okay.
It's kind of like the social norm of the time, kind of the group think.
Oh.
And I don't think you're making wholesale changes to how people perceive Highwood, both now, before, now, or in the future, by allowing a number of establishments. In fact, I attended the meeting with the mayor as well last week that was with the local state representative. And one of the things that the state representative said in that meeting, he goes, well, Alderman Slavin, aren't you concerned about other additional businesses coming to Highwood and having, Kahlua cafes with video gaming? And my response was, I would love to have new additional businesses come to Highwood. So there are potential ramifications of business